The year was 7291 of the Galactic Concordance calendar, and the Council of Civilizations convened in the massive orbiting station known as the Halon Spire. It was a place where light from 1,000 stars filtered through crystalline walls, a symbol of peace and order across the galaxy. But on that day, peace trembled. For the first time in millennia, the Council had summoned a single species to answer a question that had shaken empires and baffled the greatest minds of the known universe. Humanity's sudden appearance with warships made from dark matter itself. The chamber was vast and circular, lined with representatives from over 900 species, each cloaked in the insignias of their homeworlds. At the center stood a simple dais, and upon it waited a single human. His name was Commander Elias Rohn, an officer of the Terran Expeditionary Defense Command. His posture was calm, though the weight of countless eyes bore down upon him. The delegates whispered in tones of awe, fear, and speculation. Humans were a minor world, hissed one delegate from the Velith Dominion, barely capable of warp travel a century ago. And now they wield fleets invisible to sensors, impervious to gravitational shears, said another, the amphibious representative from the Thalon Reach. They destroyed an entire pirate armada in minutes. Even our most advanced vessels could not track the energy signature. The murmurs grew until the High Arbiter struck the floor with a resonance rod. The sound cut through the air like thunder. Commander Rohn of Terra, the Arbiter said, her voice amplified by psionic channels. The Council demands transparency. How did humanity create warships from dark matter? A substance that even the oldest civilizations cannot manipulate. Elias raised his gaze. His uniform bore no embellishments, no medals, only the crest of the United Terran Directorate. He spoke in an even tone, every word chosen with precision. Humanity did not create dark matter. We found a way to listen to it. A collective murmur rippled through the chamber. Listening. The concept was absurd. Dark matter was beyond touch, beyond energy. It neither emitted nor absorbed light. Yet humans, those once primitive bipeds from a small blue planet, claimed to have listened to it. The Arbiter leaned forward. Explain, Commander. Elias took a breath. Centuries ago, we believed dark matter was inert. But when the Sol system's outer colonies began collapsing into singularities, our scientists detected fluctuations, patterns that resonated like language. We developed quantum resonance sensors to map those frequencies. What we found was not lifeless matter. It was structure, harmony. Something ancient was communicating in silence. A cold silence filled the hall. The representative of the Lethari Collective flicked its mandibles nervously. You're suggesting dark matter is alive? Not alive, Elias corrected softly, but aware. It moves where mass and gravity dance. It listens to energy. When we learned to speak its frequency, we built frameworks around that resonance. Those frameworks became our warships. Images flickered above the dais, holograms of massive black silhouettes gliding through the void. They were unlike any known vessel. No heat signature. No visible hull. The shapes distorted light, warping the stars behind them. When they moved, space seemed to bend in deference. Our dark matter warships are not powered by engines, Elias continued. They glide through gravitational currents, bound to the patterns we call the whisper drive. It allows us to move faster than light without disturbing space-time. To your sensors, we appear as voids. The delegates erupted again. The Council's chambers shook with argument. Some shouted for restrictions, others for alliances. The Arbiter struck the floor once more. Enough. Humanity's mastery of such technology threatens galactic stability. If dark matter itself can be commanded, the balance of power collapses. Elias's gaze hardened. We never sought to threaten anyone. But we will not surrender the knowledge that keeps us alive. The room dimmed as the holographic feed shifted. Recordings of the Battle of Epsilon Vortex. Hundreds of pirate ships descended upon a Terran colony, their weapons saturating space with plasma storms. Then came the Terran response. 5 dark silhouettes emerging from nothingness. There was no light, no thruster burn. The pirates' sensors found only silence before their ships imploded, crushed by invisible gravitational folds. The battle lasted 8 minutes. No human vessel was damaged. When the recording ended, the silence that followed was absolute. The Arbiter's voice was steady. You expect us to believe humanity achieved this alone? Elias inclined his head. Alone, yes, but not without cost. The first Whisper experiments consumed 3 research stations and 2,000 lives. For decades, our people feared the silence we had awoken. We thought we had opened a door we could not close. Yet the pattern did not destroy us. It guided us. The more we understood it, the more it responded. The Thalon representative leaned forward. Responded? In what way? Elias hesitated. It protected us. The dark matter fields around Sol began to fluctuate when hostile fleets approached. Energy distortions formed barriers. It was as if the void itself refused to let harm reach us. Across the council, disbelief wavered between fear and wonder. The Arbiter rose. Commander, are you implying that the dark universe now favors humanity? I'm saying that it recognizes us, Elias said quietly. It recognizes consciousness that listens rather than consumes. The statement echoed through the chamber like prophecy. After the session adjourned, Elias stood alone on the observation deck of the Halon Spire, gazing at the tapestry of stars. Beyond those points of light was the invisible ocean of dark matter, unseen yet present everywhere. Humanity had learned to navigate that ocean, to coexist with the unseen foundation of the universe. Far below, the Council deliberated. Some species demanded sanctions, others proposed alliances. The Velith Dominion threatened war if humanity refused to share its technology. The Thalon Reach pleaded for collaboration, fearful of being left behind. Yet none could deny the truth. The balance of power had shifted irreversibly. In the following weeks, emissaries visited the Terran core systems. They found not a militarized empire, but a society quietly transformed. Cities floated in harmonic resonance with gravity waves. Spacecraft drifted soundlessly through invisible channels, their pilots guiding them through intuition rather than thrust. Humanity had become something new. Not conquerors, but custodians of a cosmic dialogue. When the Council's fleet approached Earth orbit, they expected grand fortifications. Instead, they found a serene system. The dark matter resonance pulsed through every orbiting station like a living heartbeat. A Council envoy was escorted to the Terran flagship, Obsidian Dawn, where Admiral Ilya Vorin awaited them. The envoy, a crystalline being from the Triune Assembly, spoke with uncertainty. Admiral, the Council fears what it cannot measure. They wish to understand your vessels, to ensure this power will not destroy us all. Vorin smiled faintly. Dark matter does not destroy. It balances. We merely learn to move in rhythm with it. You fear we have built weapons, but we have built harmony. The envoy gestured toward the starfield. And if the Council decides to take that knowledge by force? Vorin turned toward the void. Then they will learn what the darkness does to those who strike without understanding. Moments later, a shadow rippled across space. The Obsidian Dawn vanished, not by cloaking, not by warp, but by ceasing to interact with light. The envoy's sensors read only the gravitational displacement of something vast and incomprehensible. Within seconds, it reappeared behind the Council fleet, silent as thought. Every vessel's systems faltered. Power readings dropped to 0. Communications died. For a full minute, the galaxy's most advanced ships hung helpless in orbit. Then, just as suddenly, the Terran flagship withdrew, restoring all systems as if nothing had occurred. That single act changed everything. The Council realized that war was meaningless. No weapon could touch a fleet that moved within the fabric of the cosmos itself. Over the years that followed, humanity became both legend and enigma. Their ships patrolled the outer voids, guiding lost vessels, neutralizing cosmic storms, and preventing the collapse of unstable stars. The dark matter resonance had become their compass. In time, even the most ancient civilizations began to send envoys not to demand, but to learn. One day, decades after the first Council hearing, the Arbiter herself visited the Terran archives. Elias Rohn, now older, his hair silvered, greeted her in a quiet chamber overlooking the Earth. You were right, she said softly. You listened when the rest of us only sought control. Elias smiled faintly. Dark matter does not belong to anyone. It only reveals itself to those who hear the silence. The Arbiter gazed at the void. And what does it say now? He looked upward, eyes reflecting the faint shimmer where dark energy bent the stars. It says there is more beyond this universe, that the song continues elsewhere. Humanity is preparing to follow it. Years later, when the Terran dark matter fleet departed the galaxy, every civilization paused to watch. The vessels moved without light or sound, leaving behind ripples that shimmered faintly across the stars. No explosion, no farewell, only a serene descent into the unseen layers of reality. Records describe the moment as the quietest in galactic history. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath. No one ever saw those ships again, but their influence endured. Across the Council worlds, scientists beg,